Yeah, so I was raised as a Christian, but otherwise in the daily life, God was maybe like a secondary or less thing. Definitely there was something there missing. So that put me on a very, research, where I promised myself to be open, criticize with an open mind, but also I promised myself to, if I found out some information which will go against my former belief, I would change it. So I started actually researching many of the religions, of the head religions, Hindu, Buddhism, Christianity in the different categories, Catholicism, Protestant, Jehovah's Witness, Scientology, Judaism. So it took me around 3-4 years. So I had a maps where I wrote down my questions. And every time I got some answers, I wrote down the answers and, evaluated and prayed at the same time, So, at one point I have studied, as I could study, all of the religions except Islam. I'm not very happy to say, but this was the fact at that time. I was a big opponent against Islam. I was voting for the very right extremist parties when I voted. But at one point in my research, I had to be honest with myself. And when I asked myself the question, well, Dean, have you studied Islam? It's a religion. Have you studied it? Have you given it a chance? So, so I started studying it, reading about it, looking at different debates. And to make a long story maybe a little short, I was blown away by what I found out.
SubhanAllah.
Yeah, because I found out that actually these people, as Muslims, who are in the religion of Islam, they actually practice the belief that I should have been practiced as a Christian. So that was like, how do they know this? And why are they doing it? In that kind of level and with that kind of passion that I see as me and many of other Christians, we don't even, consider doing. Definitely there was a long gap between practicing Christians who I could see, they are following the guidelines of the Bible. So of course it started my curiosity about who are these people? What is their belief about, and their religion? The three maybe major things was that there was at one point in my research that I was in doubt that the name Allah was the name of the same God that I was actually worshipping as a Christian. So for me, it was in a long period, it was something strange, that they must be worshipping another God, because Allah had never heard this name before. So when I was like researching that and clarified about that Allah actually means the God, the one God, it gave me a confidence, that, maybe, it's not as strange anymore. The second thing was also that, of course, that I believed in all the prophets and messengers, Jesus, alayhi salam, and Moses, and Abraham, and David, and all of them. But the Muslims, they claim that another prophet and messenger, Muhammad, with the name Muhammad, which was maybe at that point, I just hated anything with Islam. So for me, it was like, this is a big claim. So how do I know that he is actually a true prophet? And I researched the level of his manners, his truthfulness, his way of dealing with people, his way of being a leader, and actually was aligned with Jesus and Moses. So it made me also confident in that question. And a third one, very important, I remember, was that, this is a big claim coming to say that this book is from God, the Quran. And I can't read Arabic, so of course you can say what you want, but how do I know, So when I started to research there and was open about, finding out, I wanted proof, I wanted evidence, before I could accept it, of course. So scientifically, rationally, my gut feelings, my heart, So when I had this confirmed also, there was like no turning back. No turning back, yeah.
Wow.
I converted the 18th of April, 2003. I was not in any doubt at that time. I had all my essential questions answered, not just one time, but maybe 100 times.